It's whatever you define as important to self. And so some of my self-care is grounding. I think we've talked about grounding recently. And your dad, I've talked about grounding with your dad so he can dissipate some of the energy that he's absorbing, that he's doing very good. He's doing a good job at neutralizing it, but he needs to get rid of it. Neutralized energy still stays with you, because neutralized energy, you can't destroy energy, you can only repurpose it. And the best way to repurpose it is send it into Gaia, who's here to receive negative energy. Specifically, if we intend for the spirit Gaia to neutralize the energy, she has no problem redirecting our energy. And when we ground in Gaia, number one, it lets go of all of that. It's not necessarily negative energy, but it can be stagnant energy. And stagnant energy isn't necessarily negative. It's just kind of there doing nothing. And it's almost like taking the hair out of your brush. It's not hurting anything, but you know it's there. And every once in a while you go, dang, I should take, well, you probably don't, but I definitely have that issue. When you take the hair out of the brush and you throw it away, it doesn't do anything to the trash, but it leaves you a clean brush. So you can now do whatever you want without that impending stack up of hair. And so when you ground, it doesn't mean you have to get rid of anything. It just means you're letting anything stagnant go, which allows you to then redefine the balance of your chakras, because your chakras run on energy, as you know. And if your chakras are in any way out of alignment or not quite spinning as they should be, not necessarily retro, but if they're just kind of going, you're going to have low energy. And it's not the kind of energy that, you know, I can't get up in the morning. It's the kind of energy that when you want to manifest, you have to work harder for it. We all manifest. That's how we live. We spend a lot of time manifesting with our ego. And we all know what we get when we manifest with our ego. Short term. To walk on the beach or whatever it is to you. Take an extra long shower. Put some crystals, put some eucalyptus in your bath water. Things like that are self-care. Or just not doing anything. Having a day of, I don't have to do anything except everything I want. That might be your life when you're not working because you have somewhat of a freedom and autonomy. But self-care is more specific. It's not something you have access to every day unless it's your daily self-care. My self-care is actually spending more time with spirit, spending more time doing meditating and using my tools and things like that to come in connection with what I'm supposed to do. So I have 3 categories: daily, weekly, and monthly, and they're non-negotiable. Okay, so they're negotiable. My daily is a 30-minute walk, 5 minutes of medicine, whatever I consider medicine, whether it's meditation, rituals, Om, whatever my medicine is. A meditation, if it goes along with the medicine. Healthy eating, that for me at that time when I was writing this was definitely self-care. Listening to music, listening to my classical music, making time for me, whatever I'm doing, to listen to classical music, because that is a vibration that I resonate beyond. And then lastly is journaling, because that is a form of self-care. When you go back and read your journals, for me, it's like reading a Tolstoy novel. I learned so much again and again and again. And then my weekly was taking time to ground, a hot bath, taking a day off, pleasure reading, a tarot card for self, which I've redefined. I do cards almost every day now. Reading my journal for learning, and then qigong or qigong, depending on what you like. And then my monthly is a weekend off. My reward is a session, a new tool, or an event that would either grow me or benefit me, and then learn something new. That's what I would do once a month. And a lot of these have now become just ways of life, like learning something new. I mean, that's just almost daily. And taking time off. I have a lot of time off right now because of the way that, I operate. And pleasure reading is tough for me. My definition of pleasure reading has changed because my pleasure reading is not woo-woo, but Tolstoy or Weber or Smith or whatever. And so, but now, because I do enjoy reading all the different articles that, the things you send me or other people send me stuff, that's what I consider pleasurable reading. So it's a paradigm shift for me to reading that to grow my business, if you will, or to aid my clients, to pleasure reading. And I really enjoy it. So as long as I'm reading the written word, I'm happy. That's how I defined my self-care. And that was easily over a year ago. As your life and your priorities change, so will your self-care.